What's happening, family? Welcome to the show. It is Michelle Bryant here at WNOV 860 AM 106.5 FM. You are listening to Say Something Real. And I just want to let you know, still sick. So if the voice sound a little ragged this morning, bear with me, bear with me. Hopefully, by the time I come back on Monday, I'll be all good. Because when I tell you I'm sleeping off for the rest of the next 3 days, well, I would like to say that, but I'm not. So trying to get better. Let me say good morning. Hey, we got young folks in the building. What's up, Byron?
Good morning. Good morning.
Byron, you know I want to do it. You know I want to do it from the top. Byron, you know that girl did that. It's so irritating.
Byron.
A little Bow Wow's character. Everybody wanted to kill her. How you doing this morning, bro?
I'm great. I'm doing great.
Man, how's that baby doing? What?
Yeah.
Yeah. What sound was that? Was that the no sleep sound? What sound is that?
She can sleep when she want to. She's driving me crazy.
How old is she now, Byron?
She's one
and running the house.
Developing that personality. It's a strong one.
Really?
Uh-huh.
You all over again.
So she running things already?
She is.
And a daddy's girl too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I like all that. I like all that. Well, how she get spoiled, Byron?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I just wanted to check it. You know, because bro's like talking, but then when you ask him how it happened, don't nobody seem to know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what, too? I thought about her the other day because I was in the store and I saw a little Halloween costume. I was like, oh, I should get this costume for the baby. Because, you know, she'll get set out messing with her Aunt Michelle. Old school, how you doing today? I love that you can be old school because Debo ain't in the room.
Well, you know, I do take the.
You do. Oh, why you come around the corner, dude? You
see now he's spoiled
so
it. Now he's the oldest in the room.
He always gotta just show up.
Come on, man.
He
say
just wants
something.
Somebody to know he is here.
I'm school. He old school.
Really?
No, I think we got to reverse that.
What's the difference?
I'm school.
School is when you know you old and they ain't even got to put the old on it.
Oh, okay.
You just say, "What's up, school?" You already know it's you.
And so
he the dude that when they say old school, he be like looking around like, "Are they talking to me?" But school already know.
No, that is.
You don't even look around.
Okay, I'll take that.
No, that is true.
That's true.
Yeah, when I was hooping the other day with these guys, and they was like, "Oh, gee." Like, oh, gee. Like, nah, brother. Nah, this Mano.
Don't fight it, bro.
Hey.
Go quietly into the night. Don't fight it. What's up, Shelby? How you doing, man? Yeah, don't fight it. But you good though?
No, actually,
you know you had your support stockings on yesterday, so I'm just checking to make sure.
He got legs. And while you playing,
you got the support.
Circulation.
Yeah,
circulation.
Yeah, this support pantyhose on yesterday.
Wow. Got that on camera.
Hold on. Bam. See, this right here keep the blood flow. You understand me? Going down your leg. You understand me?
Dude, you're killing me.
Sometimes you gotta put this thing
Why
on.
you so loud? Why is you yelling like somebody?
Look like you're trying to sell something.
See, you understand
That's
me?
what I'm saying.
See, I don't drink.
Why is you yelling, Jermaine?
I don't know. I just felt like I'm supposed to yell.
No, you're not supposed to yell.
Oh, okay. So let's get in my right position. I just felt like in that position I'm supposed to yell.
Out here with these support pantyhose on.
Well, listen here. I decided to wear my leggings.
Byron, see, pay attention.
I decided to wear.
This is your future.
No, but I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tell you.
What?
See, because I'm very active. You understand me?
Is that it?
And I had to wear my pantyhose because.
Don't say your pantyhose. Let me say it. Don't you say. I don't you say. It's Bruh's right now.
No, but listen.
Come on, man.
I mean, since you said I was wearing my stockings.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know. It's Bruh's right now. Like, don't let her do it to you, man.
All right. Well, Shell, I'm feeling pretty good.
It looks
my
like
legs feel great.
Is happening.
Hey, man, I got blood flowing. And I'm feeling jubilant right now because with the blood flow, I'm able to walk faster now. I just feel like I'm supposed to do that. I feel like I'm supposed
what
to do
is
that.
the grabbing of the fist, man?
Because I'm actually practicing to become a preacher, so I got to get all my hand motions ready.
Really?
Yeah. Now, I truly believe that.
Do you think that somebody gonna let you be in their church?
Probably not, but
see, you're gonna be one of the preachers that like Val Carter invite you to come preach.
Yeah.
And then when you start preaching, everybody be looking at each other like,
what are you doing?
Well, this was a mistake.
See, I'm gonna be that preacher that pull up in the car with a bullhorn. You're gonna
be. No, I'm telling you, you're not.
Well, no, I don't want to be the traditional.
Profession. No, stay where you at.
Stay where I'm at.
God knew.
Well, either way, I got blood flow. It's Thursday.
You got blood flow though. That's good.
It's Thursday, but it's really your Friday. So
Thank God.
My question that I have every day.
What? No. How do we know? I know. How do we know it's Thursday?
How do we know when it's Thursday?
Don't.
I'm just saying.
Don't answer by.
I'm just saying.
Don't fall.
Ain't nobody.
We're not doing it with you.
No, I'm serious. But ain't nobody answer these questions for me.
We're moving on.
See, just gonna cut me off.
I do. I need to move on.
You gonna move
because
on?
I need to shout out.
Can't stand her.
I need to shout out a baller in the city. When it comes to elected officials, I'm not always the most whatever. People just be real special to me. But when I tell you that I love me some Milwaukee County Supervisor Priscilla Cox Jones, when I tell you that the clapback is real, don't come from me, don't start none, won't be none. Because yesterday I talked about that a second story was done on a county supervisor by this reporter, Vanessa Suarez. And I'm not sure if that's how to say her name. I go back and forth, but we're going to go with that for this morning. And I had to go look this young lady up. So she's written for the New York Times, for Politico. Politics is her beat. That's what she does. And so, she did a hit piece on Marcelia Nicholson talking about, $9,000 of campaign. I mean, and first of all, like $9,000, like, ooh, Jesus, we're talking about a whole bunch of money. But $9,000 of Uber rides and, different political expenses over the course of 5 years. And then, she tried to do, some backhand slaps. Are you taking Uber because of OWIs? Just nonsense. And then she also tried to she drug Gwen Moore's name into it, and then all of a sudden, let's just take this as an opportunity to look at Congresswoman Moore's spending, campaign spending. So you read that piece going, okay, so it doesn't seem like you need to make a name for yourself because you've already worked for some major outlets. So what are you doing? And I posed that question after reading the Marcelia Nicholson piece. So then yesterday, I follow it up with the piece that she did on Priscilla Cox Jones. And, under investigation for misconduct, falsifying campaign reports. So when you see it, you like, oh, wait a minute, what? What's going on with Priscilla? But as I tried to say yesterday, number one, it's easy to make mistakes on campaign finance reports. A lot of people do these themselves or have, friends and family members that help do them. So they don't always know how to list something appropriately or where something else should go. I learned a lot about campaign finance reports through trial and error. I was on the phone with the Wisconsin Ethics Commission or the folks that, could help you with that all the time. Like, okay, so where do I put this and how does this go? And particularly in the Black community, there are not a ton of us that do campaign finance reports and can do them with the agility of, I won't even say an accountant because the way some of this stuff is laid out, you got to understand their system. So I ended the show yesterday just saying that whatever this was with Priscilla, um, I felt confident that they'd be able to figure this whole piece out. I couldn't even get off the radio good yesterday when the story got written that, and the title says Milwaukee County Supervisor Cox Jones cleared in misconduct campaign report probe. It wasn't even 2 hours, y'all. It wasn't even 2 hours. That story got posted at 10:23 a.m. So I'm reading it to you like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning yesterday. And I had been off the air about an hour and a half. And here comes the equivalent, I won't say retraction, but an update on this story that says that she's cleared in in this whole probe. So I'm like, well, first of all, let me just say, I want to understand, like, where was the disconnect in between the information the reporter was getting and the fact that this woman was cleared. And I'm like, so was she cleared in that hour and a half that I was on the radio? Was she cleared early this morning? Like, when did the clearing happen? And I had indicated that Priscilla Cox Jones, had legal representation. But this is a young sister that I know and have watched come up through the ranks and has had the benefit of a family of elected officials, a family of folks who do campaign finance reports, a family of people who have dealt with these things. And so she has learned from watching, from doing, from being around and exposed to. So when I say it was cleared in less than 2 hours, I was cracking up because I was like, see, go ahead, little girl. That's how you handle your business. Attorney on call. No, we gonna get this cleared up. And I need that big headline, the same way you wrote that I was under investigation, that you need to write that it was cleared up. Now, the thing I will comment on, though, is when you look at the story that was written originally, it does not say that, because usually when a story has to have updates to it, it'll go back in and it'll say this story, you can see the little thing where it says this story was updated. So that original story does not indicate an update where she was under investigation. So I will reach out to Vanessa Suarez today and, hopefully Priscilla's team will reach out and be like, no, update your original story. It's fine that a second story got written, but you need to update the original story so that when people read all this garbage that you got in here, that they then figure out somewhere in this story that there needs to be an update, because the original story does not appear to have been updated, and they do updates all the time. So I don't know. I said it when I saw the Marcelia Nicholson, piece. And then because even on the Marcelia piece, one of the things that the reporter says is that she didn't do anything that was illegal. Nothing that she did was illegal. It just alarmed you that she had the number of Uber rides that she did. But there was nothing illegal about her paying for Uber rides out of her campaign account. And then we're going to try to, determine, well, did you use the campaign account to pay to go to official, meetings for the county? But I can go to a meeting for the county and also be planning a political meeting as soon as that meeting is over. So when you start trying to get into the weeds on how these people are doing some of this stuff, just like she had to admit in the story, there was no clear line that Marcelia Nicholson had broken any laws. But I just need to tell y'all about it. I just need to kick up some dust. I just need to make y'all question what's going on. So kudos to young sister Priscilla Cox Jones. The clapback was real. This girl works her butt off in this community. I don't like now when you Google her name that this will come up as some issue before you get to the updated version of the story and she has been cleared. Don't appreciate that. Even when I Googled it this morning, the misconduct story came up first, even though she's been cleared is the most recent story. But that didn't come up first. That came up second. So keep your eyes open. Always pay attention. Watch what these folks are doing as they report. And I said this happens on all sides of the aisle. I don't know what this young woman's, if she has an agenda, who she's connected to, why these stories are coming out like they are coming out. Because again, I'm gonna write a story to raise questions about somebody, but everything that I'm finding out tells me that what this young woman did, there's nothing illegal about it. There's nothing illegal about it, but I just want to raise doubt for the sake of raising doubt, because that's what she did on Marcelia. I just want to raise doubt for the sake of raising doubt. And while I'm in it, let me punch Gwen Moore in the face too. That's what she did. It's plenty of legitimate political stories to write. It's not like there is a loss for topics and issues and things that are going on to write. So I would hope that the people at the Journal Sentinel will pull your reporter to the side and be like, bring us real stories. Bring us real stories. Because there is no drought of political foolishness to write about. But just I want to raise suspicion for the sake of raising suspicion. I concede there's nothing illegal here, but I just want to tell y'all about it anyway. And while I'm telling y'all about Marcelia, I'm going to draw this weak line over to Gwen Moore. Marcelia Nicholson wants to be like Gwen Moore. And since I mentioned Gwen's name, let me talk about her campaign finance spending. Vanessa, be better, man. Or don't be so transparent that people can see through you was on some BS. Be better. Be better. But and the other thing about reporters, man, stop letting people use y'all. Dan Bice, same thing. Half of the times, these is people calling y'all to use you to help take out a political opponent. And y'all oblige. And try to run people's name down in the dirt and the mud. That's why folks don't like serving. That's why folks don't like serving. Somebody said exactly like why some state reps are using their campaign accounts to keep fake apartments to run for office. Donovan, did he ever clean that mess up yet? I don't know. But there's something real to write about and to be updated on to that point. All right, I need to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get into some other stories of the day. And right now, if everything stays on track, I am slated to have a conversation with the grandmother and family of the young 15-year-old girl that was found slain here in Milwaukee a few days ago. As we talk about the issue of gun violence and protecting our children and, what we as parents and community can do. So she is scheduled to be in the 8 o'clock hour. I would encourage people to stay tuned for that interview. The initial conversations that I have had with this family is just heart-wrenching, but we can learn something from these situations for sure. And so we will have that conversation in a little while today. And a couple of other quick things before I go to break. One of the things that I will also mention for folks that did watch the Jimmy Kimmel return, those numbers were crazy. 6-point-something million views. It tripled his typical views. So even with the local stations that decided not to carry his show, and they did local programming instead, the viewership was triple. So when Donald Trump was like, oh, nobody's watching him, he's irrelevant, all the stuff that Donald Trump said. Like, I just wanted to follow up with that. These were the highest numbers this man has had in 10 years. Literally, he averages about 1.6 million viewers. On the night that he returned, 6.26 million viewers. That's what he had. And that's just the preliminary Nielsen ratings. That's just the preliminary numbers. So, yeah.
So it was compared to 243,000 that he normally would have, right?
No, he normally would have 1.6 million. It tripled.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Because I saw some number that they had 243,000.
No, he typically averaged almost 2 million viewers.
Wow.
And it tripled to over 6 million.
Wow.
And I just want to say kudos to my son. I was talking to my son yesterday, and my grandson was in the background, and he had brought up that he had talked with my grandson about them canceling their Disney subscription. And I guess my grandson knows how to go to the app on the TV or whatever and bring up his TV show Bluey. That's his jam. And so my son was like, hey, bro, need to talk to you. And Atlas was like, what's going on? He was like, hey, we may have to cancel or we're going to be canceling the subscription to Disney, which is where you go to watch the Bluey show. And Atlas was like, why? And he said, because he said there is some bullying going on. And we don't support people that bully in this family. So he went on to explain in 6-year-old terms, what the bullying looked like. And he was like, and we have to help our friends when they're being bullied. And Atlas was like, okay, well then we won't be watching Bluey. And so then while I was on the phone with him, he ended up telling Atlas, he said, yeah, they got stuff worked out. So we can go ahead and keep the Disney subscription. Atlas put up the fist. So I appreciated that my son used that moment as a teachable moment with his child, and has very early, talking about the whole fact of bullying. And there are some parents that, hopefully you saw also that this was a teachable moment, and that you can use your money to help influence outcomes. Do I need to go to a phone line? Okay, let me catch them real quick. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hey, good morning, Michelle.
Good morning.
Hey, sis. Look, you were talking about that reporter down there at the Journal Sentinel.
Yes.
And the things you bring up, I can guarantee you two things. That is exactly why the black community only probably got about a 10 or 15% population subscription to that Sentinel, because the rest of us, we don't even read that garbage, because that's all they do is hit stories on us, or they stretch stories or make us look bad. But the thing I wanted to tell you about that reporter's story is that there's also an editor involved. No story goes to print without the editor okaying it. And I remember years ago, one reporter was getting some backlash, and he said that the editor will sometimes put a word here or a word there and make the story what he wants.
Right.
So there's two people involved in that, in every story that's in the Journal Sentinel, and that's the writer and the editor.
No, you are absolutely right. And I'm sorry I did not, capture that when I was talking about it. You are absolutely right. Yeah. There's more than one set of eyes. That's why it's important for us to reach out to the paper, because I will email the editors. I'll find out who her editor is, email them and flag the story. And you need to help me understand what happened here. I've done that several times over the years. Reach out when I see a story that I don't agree with. I hurry up and call.
Yeah. I even sent emails to the writer itself, because you can't.
The both. No, the reporter gets it and the editor gets it. So no, you are absolutely right. And I am a subscriber. So even though I need to pay my subscription, but I am a subscriber. So but yeah, so that that even carries more weight. But you're absolutely right, bro.
Yeah, it ain't just the writer's eyes on it, it's the editor too. So people need to know that.
Absolutely. Thank you for that information.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye. So yes, he is absolutely right. And again, this reporter, her name is Vanessa Suarez, Swales. And like I said, I just need that first story she wrote. I need that one to be updated to reflect that because that usually down at the bottom they'll say, the story has been updated. Will say up at the top, last updated at this day, this time, and then whatever the update is, it's usually at the end of the story. And so she needs to update that in the story, not just write a separate story. You need to update that first story that this young sister has been cleared. All right. Somebody else wanted to point out, they said, look, Michelle, on the Jimmy Kimmel numbers, that's just the Nielsen ratings, which I said, it's just the Nielsen ratings. That doesn't even take into consideration the millions of views on YouTube. Hang on, let me look. Streaming, yep. And she said, or this individual said the last time they saw it, it was 17 million that had tuned in to watch. Because Black people, we'll talk about. I think I've only known one person in my life who said a Nielsen box in their house. And I don't even know how they do Nielsen today. Back in the day, it was a box. So just so we know, people are paying attention. If I can sneak this in too before the break, just one of the things I want to make people aware of. It came up yesterday on my show. People talking about the possibility of a government shutdown. That word bullying in relationship to this administration, this president, it is so real. It is so apropos to use that terminology, because we're now hearing that if the Democrats don't capitulate and give Republicans what they want going into this process to figure out how to reach an impasse on this budget, that the White House Budget Office is instructing federal agencies to prepare reduction in force plans for mass firings during the government shutdown, specifically targeting employees who work for programs that are not legally required to continue. Mass firings, and that these would be permanent reduction in force. Permanent, like even if they reconcile stuff and okay, we back up and functioning, these people still would not come back. And so what they've said, programs that did not benefit from an infusion of mandatory appropriations will bear the brunt of a shutdown. Agencies were told to submit their proposal and issue notices to employees, even if they would otherwise be accepted or furloughed during a lapse in funding. This is the most mean-spirited, divisive administration I have ever seen. Like, all of these people are taxpayers with good jobs, typically homeowners, that infuse those dollars into our economy every day. What did we say? More than 350,000 Black women have found themselves without a job during this first year of Donald Trump's administration. You want to say something?
So is that legal? Because I know with those firing,
right, that they had
that they got to reinstate all of these guys because the judge found that Trump was bullying. This is one of the words that they said, Trump was bullying, and that was not right. That was illegal what they did.
Well, I would hope that the same would be found for this. I just don't know.
Because it's tied to the government shutdown, right?
Yeah. But literally, and they say, the note that they sent to Congress says that if Congress successfully passes a clean stopgap bill prior to September 30th, the additional steps outlined in the email will not be necessary.
So they're trying to strong arm.
Yeah.
Again, they trying to put it on the Democrats that if the Democrats don't do it,
right,
things that's tied
and that's
into
the language they've already
program,
said.
Yeah,
that's what they've already said. If y'all lose y'all job, it's because the Democrats didn't do what they need to do. They didn't agree with getting rid of the tax credits for health care. They didn't agree with some of the other cuts that we're making. And so it's all a Democrat's fault. That's what they're trying to say. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Michelle, when they push those jobs, or when we fire the government workers, they're forced to go into the private sector, right?
Well, yeah, not unless they can find jobs, at local state government, depending on where they are. But yeah, generally, if you and the bad part is
It's a
that
snowball effect. It doesn't make sense what they're doing.
and we losing all this institutional knowledge, about people who know how to run this country and run these programs. We're losing all of that.
Just mean spirited, like you said. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, I'm in the private sector, but if you bring in the government sector into the private sector, then we're going to be out. It doesn't make sense.
Oh, yeah.
What he's doing. And then they're talking about saving this money. That's why they're cutting these jobs. But we don't even know what they're putting that money towards. We failed to see that, except that he got some gold frames for president pictures in them, or whatever he's doing to the White House to update it. But where's the list of all the savings that they're doing when they fire humans, United States citizens? And then my last question is, these AI data centers, should we as a Black community be concerned with that?
Always.
Or is that some Hicks farm?
Always. I've talked about it before, and I'll talk about it again.
Oh, you did?
No, I'll talk about it again.
They're saying something about the natural waters, and it's going to be using that. And I know Memphis had that Elon Musk thing down there, but now that I see it's here in Wisconsin, right. I'm like, how is that going to impact us, or this is something, since it's not in the city, we don't need to worry about as a community?
Nope, I will
Thank
definitely.
You, Michelle.
Yep,
and Michelle, take that hat off. We want to see you on YouTube without that hat on, girl.
Look, okay.
I told you. She didn't want to listen to us.
I done sweated this hair all kind of ways for Sunday. And somebody was like, "Did you get a perm?" I did not get a perm.
My office hours.
That is a simple flat iron job that was done by a sister named Danielle. And she did it so cold, my hair is still in its natural state. I did not get, because when Keisha saw me, she was like, "You got a perm." I was like, "I did not get a perm, Keisha. I'm not getting perms." But no, it's just flat iron. But yeah, when I tell you I was sweating like a fool last night from this fever, I was tearing it up. But yes, I will talk about the situation with the AI and Microsoft down in Caledonia, in that area down in there, because I did do a segment on one of my shows that talked about the environmental issues that come with these plants, the amount of water. And that's what I said, even as private individuals, when we use AI on our phones, what that does, what it triggers. You have thousands of computers located in facilities that are running these programs 24 hours nonstop. The amount of water that they use are crazy. And so I did specifically mention the Memphis area, and some work that the NAACP was partnering with on nationally to look at it, because a lot of these plants were going up in predominantly Black neighborhoods and they were skirting environmental law. So I'll get to that. But let me take a break. Woo! Trying to get it out because I can't breathe. I'll be right back, y'all. Welcome back. So let me take a second and address something that has been brewing for quite some time here in the city. I have not spent a great deal of time on this because I just did not have like a targeted focus about paying attention to the story in the way that I should have. I'm just going to say that I should have definitely been talking about this a lot sooner. I think I mentioned it, but I didn't go in hard. What is happening at MATC, Milwaukee Area Technical College, in relationship to 4 employees that were employed in the Office of Multicultural, I think it's Multicultural Affairs, which that office has since been renamed, is the word that I've used so far this morning, another example of bullying from the Trump administration. So, in an effort to get rid of diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, anything that was set up to help specific groups. So, Office of African American Affairs, like on a campus situation, or, you know, a program that would help Indigenous students, Native American students, anything that was done, Hispanic Latino students that was set up. The Trump administration has been using the leverage of the federal government to threaten colleges and universities that if you don't purge the university of not only these roles, but it seems like in some cases of the people who perform these roles, you will be at risk of losing federal funding. And so MATC has, been under fire from student protests and student groups basically since September, when there was a decision made that they were going to be letting 4 people go from the Office of Multicultural Affairs. And these people, MATC said they were creating a new Office of Community Impact, and that 2 new jobs were going to be created in that office, and that people that were let go had the ability to apply, but there was not a whole lot of effort done to try to retain these 4 employees and put them in other roles. And MATC at some point made it seem like, well, because the work that they did basically as guidance counselors, there were no guidance counselor positions open in other departments, or in other divisions of the school, I guess. So these people were just out of a job. But again, at least 2 of them, if you want to, you can apply to work in the Office of Community Impact. Students are livid. They are absolutely livid, because one of the things that students have said, hold on, excuse me. Thank you. One of the things that students have said is that I wouldn't have been able to be here were it not for some of these programs. To be able to feel welcomed on campus and operating in a situation that I'm not familiar with, neither culturally or individually, I needed that support. I needed people who, there's one person that they described when they opened up the story, who talked about he felt out of place as a Native or Indigenous person, Native American, and that there was a ceremony that was done to rid the area of bad energy, welcome him onto the campus. And the difference that it made for this young man was crazy. So that office has helped so many people, and nobody ever got turned away. You didn't have to be Indigenous or Hispanic Latino or African American or any other minority group. Anybody could receive services. But they did have targeted help available for students who have, a lot of these are non-traditional students, people maybe first generation college attendees. And when you look at the makeup of the school, MATCs, and I need to pull the data, but their makeup, that is it looks like a majority minority institution. So all of these minorities lose their jobs. All of these people of color lose their jobs because of the Trump administration. And I just keep asking, the bros and the sisters who supported Donald Trump, like, so this was the vision? This was the vision. So we see white boys with MAGA hats on, rushing up on Black college campuses, harassing Black students to defend diversity, equity, and inclusion. And you're going to defend ICE immigration policies. And then, Black folks working in these jobs at universities, all y'all being let go in record numbers. But this is the thing that's funny to me too. Because, and what did I say? Jewish people have sat in the cut while the Trump administration went out on this search, to weed out anybody that was anti-Semitic or didn't do enough to protect Jewish students and blah, blah, blah. Okay, Black kids being harassed on college campuses. Black college campuses receive bomb threats. Where everybody at on that? Where's the congressional hearings? Where are the meetings? Where are the legislators coming out and saying that no student should feel uncomfortable on their campus? I have yet to hear it on any national scale, any concern for Black college kids, the way we had all the concern in the world for Jewish college kids. Have yet to hear it. I'm waiting. We still trying to get there. You literally are dispatching people to these campuses for the sole purpose of instigating drama. But no Republican has said these Black students and these Black young people deserve to be safe and able to move on their campus freely without harassment. No, none.
But can I ask you this?
Go ahead, bro.
Why are we being harassed? We didn't shoot the sheriff.
The deputy.
We didn't start the fire. We didn't do none of how them songs go. We didn't do none of that.
Because they just don't have anything else to do. They don't have anywhere to go. You're going to debate yourself. You're going to go up against other white people.
Yeah,
no, you need to go somewhere where you are going to get the most bang for your buck in terms of instigating drama and foolishness. Yes, we have nothing to do with any of the stuff that went on with Charlie Kirk. That has nothing to do with us. But then when you have, just like they had this ICE immigration facility that was shot up yesterday, and you got, the president coming out talking about it's Democrats. It's like you keep glossing over all of the foolishness that's been done by conservatives and conservative Republican supporters. You just insist on glossing over all of this.
Not only that, but on CNN last night, I watched it last night, they had some Republican strategists on there, and they was talking about how the left won't acknowledge that they are the ones that's causing the people to go after the ICE agents.
Yeah.
This and this.
But number one,
what?
Tell your ICE agents to show some respect when they come up in here and handle people. And the way they threw that lady to the ground in Chicago, and they wear the mask so that they can operate with a feeling of impunity about how aggressive and how disrespectful they are when they handling these people. So that's the other thing. Just like people didn't want you to say your words can get you killed, the way you behave and treat people can make people come after you too.
Exactly. And then you got a president of the free world that stands up in front of millions and say he hate his enemies and he want bad things to happen to his enemies. So people that rock with you, because how it is on the street, if I rock with you on the street, your enemies are my enemies.
Right. No, absolutely. And so even what he just did about the whole thing with the UN and the escalator not working, I don't know. A lot of you may have saw that, the little escalator fiasco. Trump and Melania going up the escalator like snags, doesn't work properly. Trump now goes out and says this was done intentionally. He wants an investigation. He and Melania could have been hurt. People are trying to intentionally embarrass him. He already told these people that their countries was all going to hell anyway.
Man, I think he feels some kind of way because he didn't get that bid to build the UN, and he offered to do it for $500 million, and they turned him down and went a whole nother route. So he been feeling some kind of way ever since they said no to him. It's almost like if anybody said no to him or didn't allow him to do something, you are now on his list.
You always an enemy. Yeah, you either are you in or you out. You can't have your own opinions. You can't push back. Somebody was saying, and I had saw it where they said that the switch that controls the escalator was probably most likely accidentally hit.
Pushed by one of his guys.
Yeah, a videographer with the White House. Like,
and then the
teleprompter. They said they believe that was on the U.S. too. So it's like, but the fact that you have no political decorum whatsoever, and you just come out and accuse these national leaders of sabotage. I mean, like, this literally is like white privilege, at its finest. The whole world must revolve around his white behind. That's what it feels like. I just need to say that out loud. That's and the level of disrespect that you can show everybody else in the world. And see, when white people sit back and be like, well, I don't understand what you mean by white privilege. Pay attention to your president. Because that's what it looks like. Pay attention to them talking about they want to introduce legislation to put Charlie Kirk's face on some money. But we can't get Harriet Tubman's face on no money. This keyed up, tuned up. When Trump comes in office, Barack Obama, everything was ready to go. Trump puts the project on hold. We'll never see that money get done. But just like this, Charlie Kirk, oh, he deserves to be on some money? White people foolishness, man. Like, seriously, when it came up on my feed yesterday, I literally just shook my head and said, white people foolishness. Now, not all white people, y'all know that. But these conservatives, y'all is some whole dyed in the wool fools. Why would Charlie Kirk's face be on some damn money? It's too much. White people nonsense in terms of putting Charlie Kirk on American currency. Complete nonsense. I got to take a break. Family, welcome back to the show. So while I'm waiting for my guests to arrive, one of the things that was the thing that irritated me so much about Donald Trump getting back into office was the number of stories that we would not hear, because he sucks all the life out of a room. He must be in the news cycle every day. He do something every day. His team, that just dominates media coverage. All we can talk about is Charlie Kirk. All we can talk about, and the stuff that's related to Charlie Kirk. The funeral attendants, we carrying the funeral on television like, no offense, Charlie Kirk or Martin Luther King. I don't care what you say. But there, I just like he was divisive. Damn that. He was divisive. He was divisive. In the story, he was divisive. He wasn't the next coming of Jesus. He was divisive. But there's a story, and Jermaine flagged it for me, that happened over in Chicago. Again, to this point of talking to our kids about their safety. One of the listeners to the show, he was telling me, Michelle, because he pulled up on me in the car while I'm driving, you need to be paying better attention to your surroundings. And I'm like, man, I saw you coming up on my side, but he fusses all the time. Make sure you're looking around, Michelle. There's this video of two young African-American boys, 14 and 15 years old, Marjay Dotson and Jeremy Harrod Jr. One of them is actually the cousin of Laquan McDonald, who the big, drama in Chicago that involved this baby and what all happened to him. And so these young men are in the park, okay? And an employee, a Chicago Park District and former lifeguard employee, is working on a bike. And he ends up shooting these two black kids. He kills one and he shoots the other in the neck. So Marjay Dotson, he dies, shot in the back. And the other little boy, Jeremy, he's shot in the neck. Okay. This guy is white, this park employee. And his name is Charles Leto, Leto, Leto or Leto. He says when he talks to the police that they tried to steal his bike. They were following him. They tried to steal his bike. He's a CCW carrier. And he was defending himself. Okay. The video becomes available. Jermaine just showed me the video this morning, but the video is out there. This guy literally was kneeled down, messing with his bike. These two boys were meeting up with a girl in the park. They passed the guy while he's on his knees by the bicycle. One boy already is past him and the girl is coming close to him. But the other boy, who was lagging back a little bit, he notices that this guy, Charles Leto, has his hand on a gun. And you can see the boy kind of like, whoa, like what's happening? And say he got his hand on something. He stands up, he shoots that first child and kills that first child. And then he shoots this other baby in the neck. So the video is out there. So now he has been charged with murder and attempted murder. Okay. So, excuse me.
But Shell, just imagine if it wasn't caught on video, it would have been his word against two black kids.
Yep. He's a veteran and he's white. Let's just say that. Man. And he probably would have gotten away with it even with witnesses. He probably would have got away with it because they said he's a Marine veteran. Said he acted in self-defense. He accused the boys of threatening him as they allegedly tried to steal his bike. This video shows that these kids had done none of this. Most of the shooting of the teens who had gone to the pool with friends was caught by District Park security camera. So the cameras caught it all. That these kids had done nothing to him.
Wow.
But he avoided arrest back in 2023 when he shot shot a neighbor, shooting up 2 dogs. And so the parents of the young man who has survived and the young man who is deceased, like, this man had run-ins with people that had come to the park before. Like, it clearly was something wrong with him. And y'all knew that, and this man shouldn't have been working in this park. He shouldn't have been on payroll. So 3 weeks ago, because this happened in June of this year, like June 23rd or something like that of this year. Haven't we heard about that?
That part.
2 teenage black boys are shot for no reason whatsoever. And then this man lies about it. He lies and says they tried to steal my bike and they were following me and I shot them in self-defense, even though you can't explain how the bullet ends up in the one baby's back.
That part.
If they following you.
That part.
How does that happen? But the video from the Chicago Park District indicates the man completely lied. He looked like he was laying in wait and just waiting, trigger happy to do something to somebody.
Yeah,
we've heard nothing about it.
And he was waiting to do something to them kids.
We've heard nothing about it.
That's so out of order, man. I'm so sick of this.
And so when you think about, like, the when people say tone down the rhetoric, it's across the board. There are white people that are just feeling so emboldened that they can handle black people any way they want to. What did Donald Trump say? I can stand in the middle of the street and kill somebody and ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me. People gonna still vote for me. Like, it's that mentality that we are seeing. And so, as I say, talk to your children, educate your children, but how do you prepare your child for this one? Because this baby just left the pool. And you see the little girl that they getting ready to meet up with coming across the way. The one boy had already passed this man, kneeled down with his bike.
And that's how he got hit.
That's how he got hit in the back. He had already passed him. But the other baby who was lagging behind, he see him like, wait a minute. And you could see him kind of like backing up, like, this dude got something. Where's the coverage? It's been covered in Chicago. I think that this is something that's national news.
Yeah.
I think that this is something we would even know about here in Milwaukee. Where's the coverage?
Yeah. It's just so, I mean, it's to the point, Shell, that when I saw that, me being the father of a young black man, it really did something to me. I got nephews and these kids minding they not even paying attention to this guy that's fixing his bike. They meeting up with a young lady, probably gonna go grab something to eat after the pool, and he turned away from you. So he's not even a threat. So for you to shoot him in his back, he didn't even see it coming.
No.
He had no clue.
No. And you get so frustrated.
Man, I'm frustrated.
But as I said, we now, there have to be different conversations, y'all, with these children, with our children. There has to be. And I don't care, because some people would be like, well, my child don't be in crazy situations. No situation now is off limits. I think about that story that's going viral about the woman that was sitting next to the guy on the plane.
On the train?
No, I thought it was,
so which one? Because it's
where the woman saw his text messages when he said it was a black woman was sitting next to a white gentleman on a plane, I think, and they had banter like you do when you sit next to somebody and you just talk about blah blah blah, and then evidently he had texted some friends, I'm sitting next to this dirty nigga on the plane. I mean, and she saw the plane, she could see his message, and she was like blown away because she was like, I just had a civil conversation with this individual. Just chatted, it was cordial, blah, blah, blah. And then literally he texted to his friend, I am sitting next to a dirty N-word on the plane, blah, blah, and he said some more stuff.
So what about the white lady that get on the train and that don't like how the black man is sitting.
That. Right.
And then you call the police to get him put off the train because you don't like how he's sitting.
Right. And the police removed him.
And they removed him.
The police
in handcuffs.
The engineer called the police on the train and handcuffed him and removed him.
Because you don't like how he's sitting.
And then you showed the video yesterday of the 10-year-old black girl being arrested by the police for drawing on the side of a building with chalk. She made a rainbow with chalk. And her dad was working in the building next door. And the officer came up, told her she was defacing public property, and he did everything he could to scare the fire out this little black girl, 10 years old. And then he said, you don't take this seriously. And then he handcuffs his baby and puts her in the back of a squad car. 10 years old. And her crime was using chalk, which comes off with water, to draw a rainbow on the side of a building.
No, but not only that, but you say to her, well, maybe your dad is not a good dad and we need to call CPS.
Yeah.
So you want to degrade this black man in front of his seed.
I mean, but the dad wasn't even out there at that time. He was engaging her just.
I know.
Yeah, but
to talk about.
And we're bringing these things up because these incidences are becoming much more frequent. And you know, it's not about being an alarmist, but the climate is shifting in this country.
It's changing.
Even more so than we are accustomed to. And so we have got to, that's why I said I appreciated the conversation my son had with my grandson about the Disney Channel and, you know, bullying, and we can't support bullying. These conversations have to happen, y'all. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Morning.
Good morning.
Let me ask you a question. To the best of your knowledge, the guy who shot the 10-year-old, where is he?
Who shot the 10-year-old?
I'm sorry, that shot the kids in Chicago.
Oh, he's in jail. He's been charged with murder.
He's in jail now. Yeah.
You know, the only thing that's sadder than that is he's right next to some brothers that have been killed, 2, 3, maybe even 4 other black people, and he's still alive. They ain't never getting out. This would be a good time to be a martyr like Christopher Scarver was.
Yeah.
They should choke his eyes out his head.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not going to advocate for murder on the radio.
But text me.
I am. Y'all ain't say this. FCC, they didn't say it. I said
it. We're not going to advocate for murder
I said
on the radio. I mean, but I hear
Make
you.
it clear.
Yes, sir. I understand.
He shouldn't even get to court. That's all I'm saying.
All right, bro. I got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
To actually do that to them kids, man, it's just.
I mean, like you said, though, had there not been those recordings, that man probably would have walked away.
He would have walked away.
I think about, again, you know, and it just takes you back to Trayvon Martin. I can't walk in my father's subdivision. And then when they say he has no weapon, and they say, no, he did have a weapon, the concrete ground. He used that as a weapon in fighting Zimmerman. They literally said this child used the concrete sidewalk as a weapon in fighting for his life against George Zimmerman, who attacked him.
And then, well, first of all, you're going to fight for your life because you have a stranger that's following you. You don't know what they're trying to do. You don't know if they're trying to rob you or whatever. And so you're going to fight because you don't know what's happening. But the whole thing, I think about my son. He goes for walks. You know, he looks like the typical teenager, you know, with the locks and things like that. Right. So he looked like what the police would deem trouble. But he's not a trouble kid.
And I mean, you know, let's just be clear. The stereotypes that they have attached to what's trouble is ridiculous anyway, because I always go back to, and I've told the story before, my son is flying alone going from out of Chicago into Birmingham. And he is, you know, pulled over by the police. Airport security. They pull him over, and he, you know, in the airport, and they like, we need to check your bags because he had Christmas gifts wrapped, and they opened up his Christmas gifts. And my son called me. He was like, Mom, he said, airport security is messing with me. And so I turn around and come back. I'm like, what's going on? Well, he fit the profile of a drug dealer. And what profile is that? He has on nice clothes, not baggy clothes, not sagging, not hoodies, not, beaters. He had on a leather jacket with a turtleneck and a pair of jeans. He had on nice clothes. He had expensive jewelry. He had a diamond earring in his ear, and he had a Movado watch on.
He was profiled.
So you can't even be dressed like just decent.
He was profiled.
You can't be dressed decent. So nothing flashy, but so which one is it? The hoodie gets me shot, but a leather jacket and a turtleneck gets me, searched and pulled over. And had my son, and my son is a big dude. He been big since he was in the 4th, 5th grade. He been a big cat. So had he, like in any way, like, because you pissed in this moment, how you respond, that's why I said we got to talk to these kids, man. But in this case in Chicago, these babies didn't stand a chance. That man was laying in wait. They didn't stand a chance. So just again, to remember their names, since the media can't figure out a way to tell these children's stories, just one more time, let me go back and say these kids' names. Charles Lito was an individual that killed one and shot the other. Here you go, because I lost the story. I'll pull it back up. Excuse me, I can't breathe. Jeremy Herrod, 14. That's the surviving child, and he is the cousin of Laquan McDonald, who was killed by the Chicago police back in 2014. We saw that horrific video. And they said, for folks that are familiar with Chicago, his uncle is Pastor Marvin Hunter of Grace Memorial Baptist Church over in Chicago. He's a sophomore at UIC Prep and had only been to the pool 2 or 3 times ever. And he has the neck injury, and his parents have said they have been by his bedside for 69 days. I just read the last article I found on them was 3 weeks ago, and he was just getting ready to have another surgery 3 weeks ago when that article was written. The other victim, 15-year-old, who was shot in the back, he was pronounced deceased. That was Marjay Dotson. And let me see. They don't say a ton about Marjay. Oh, wait. Yeah, I don't have a lot about Marjay, but he was 15, bright, loving. His parents, obviously, devastated. So just so people understand, these conversations have to happen. We have to talk to young people about, again, just being conscientious of their surroundings. And so this other baby is laying there now, shot in the neck. And, hopefully this baby is going to pull through, and we'll see what happens. So with that, family, I need to take a quick break. Michelle Bryant, WNOV, 860, 106.5 FM. Be right back. Back to the show. I had mentioned earlier in the segment this morning that I was expecting the family member of the young 15-year-old sister, young girl, teenage girl, who was fatally shot in Milwaukee near 76th Street in West Silver Spring on September 21st. Is when we learned about this information. And the young sister, Azaria Jones, it was just such a senseless thing. And people, as you try to wrap your head around gun violence and how this happens in our community, since that time, there's been an update that a 17-year-old on yesterday was taken into custody and arrested in connection with the shooting. But at this point, I want to introduce to the community family members of Azaria, Miss Lisa Golden, her grandmother, and Desma Harris Keys, her aunt. And first of all, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
I'm gonna ask you both to lean in a little bit to the mics when you start speaking.
Good morning.
Miss Golden, and I'll just tell you. Let's first start about uh, either one of you. Tell me who this baby was. Uh, who was Azaria?
Azaria was my grandbaby. I just buried her mom.
Hang on one second, Jermaine. Can we either bring her mic up or let me pull it closer. I know it's hard, Miss Golden. I'm gonna need you to speak up a little bit though, so the community can hear you. And then, yeah, you got some.
Azaria is my grandbaby who I raised from birth.
Okay.
I lost her mother when she was 3 months after that. I just buried 4 kids.
You have buried 4
I just
children.
buried 4 of my kids. This is the last one left. I had 5 kids when I moved to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, man. I'm burying my grandkids up here. I'm not right, man.
Desmond, can you help us? Because I know this is difficult for Miss Golden right now. When your mom says she's buried 4 kids, what's happening?
So, once again, my name is Desma Harris Keys. I am the oldest out of 5 children. Within the last, I just say, 10 years, I lost all my siblings. And I also lost a son. Now I lost a niece. So I understand.
Have the majority of the losses been to like violence or?
Yes, ma'am. In Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Shot, drugs. Sometimes people put drugs on, they doing all kind of stuff here. They doing everything everywhere, but.
And so this just has to be just another final blow in terms of losing someone so young. When they initially were talking about Azaria's story, there was indication that she possibly had not been at home. Is that?
No, Azaria, she was very valiant. She started running away after my son got killed, and my grandson and my son. Azaria was a good kid. Azaria was getting all A's. I tried to help for counseling for Azaria, but that didn't help. Some things don't help. So she started just running away. She was doing this for a minute, and I was trying to get a hold to her, but I knew what was going on. Some people can't take this no more, just like I can't take it no more. You can get people to talk to you. She had people to talk to, but she just was looking for the wrong love.
So the trauma becomes so overwhelming.
Yes, that she didn't even she not just left home. She left the family trying to search for somebody. I don't know what she was looking for. She was suffering. She didn't have to suffer. She didn't need for nothing. I was a mother, always a mother, take care of my kids. I did all of them. Now I got a man. Now I can't even take care of me no more.
Desma, I mean, I can't even imagine because, as your mom talks about losses, these are your losses as well. And
Yes,
to
ma'am.
lose all of your siblings in the way that you have, and now a niece, what is it that the community needs to understand when families are dealing with trauma? Because we read these stories and we shake our head, and many of us move on and go on with our day. But there are real lives being impacted, and the residual effect, of what happens mentally and emotionally to people that have to go through these challenges. What do we need to understand about this?
Take one day at a time. Give much love as that you can possibly give. Um, show much love. Show that you care. Be more concerning. Um, acknowledge. Hug. Kisses.
Because I think something that your mom said, which is so critical, and we don't always know. I mean, people say, make sure kids. I know MPS. If a shooting happens, we're gonna send counseling out. To help kids deal with this stuff. But when you got one after another, and these young kids are losing their friends, they're losing their family. I was talking to somebody in DC. They have a store in DC called the RIP store.
Oh my God.
And when the young lady was telling me about it, I said, "What is the RIP store?" She said, "Just rest in peace."
Yes, ma'am.
And that's where everybody goes to get all of their T-shirts and like this is
now
such.
they making it a
It's such a way of life.
That kind of stuff, and then the tripped out part about it from my generation to even my child's generation, the kids is not taking the deaths like this no more. They taking the death as a joke. I mean, I can't say pretty much a joke because that's fear of me when I was younger to see a body.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But now these kids taking it as a party. They using, they putting in, I'm using it. Now my baby gonna be a lady like, oh, we gonna kill some more for Havion, or we gonna kill Azaria. Now they making this a game choice. They don't even, these kids need God. Like, I was at the festival and I couldn't even talk about my baby for what I seen out there. I seen a lot of death, with our babies. You know what I'm saying? Because the way they came out there, a visual, that's why I don't understand the visual. I don't really do visual because the visual is a party to me. This is for people, this is.
So let's get that because I saw that the visual was held.
That was a party. They get these little kids still high. They got bottles and liquor and bud and they babies out there. Like they wasn't really a lot of grown people out there. This is babies out there actually grown.
So the visual was more.
It was more of a party. That's what they have in there. They have a party. This is a party.
Desmond, were you there?
Yes, ma'am. I was there. Actually,
they're not even afraid no more. Like, I'm scared to death.
With a couple more members of the family, and my mom, the way she's taking it, she feel like it was a party. It was not a party.
My baby finna get named out there. We gonna fight if they call a name. These kids not even understanding. Well, so grown people up there teaching about God. I got to feel God first. I was brought up for the fear of God.
Yes, ma'am.
My kids scared. Like God get you. You gonna see. I taught that first.
So Desmond, when you say you saw it a little bit differently, what did you see?
I seen a lot of her friends and family members, including myself, that was hurt, that needed hugs, kisses. She had some friends that came that knew Azaria. She had some friends that came, and they was drinking liquor and things like that. And but they wasn't drinking on the scene, like for the visual. After the visual, whatever they did was amongst them. But they came for the visual for Azaria.
So let me just ask a question. Somebody sent me the text, and it literally was one of the next things I was going to say. The text said, "Who is reaching out to this family?"
Nobody. That's what I've been doing this for how many years? You know what the community looking at me now? I can't walk outside. People saying I'm crazy. I worked for this community. I worked bars. I worked hospitals. I did all this. I'm scared to go outside now because they look at me. They just looking at me. Nobody walking in the house. Don't ask me how I'm doing. How am I doing? Ain't nobody walking the now I'm getting your embrace. Oh, they looking down the corner like I was crazy. I was here in this community happened for 1994. I've been a nurse. I've been everything here. The people are even treating me different now because of all these deaths. To me,
I think one of the things that happens is people get so scared. You know, you don't know what to do. You don't know what to say. And on this scale, it's unimaginable to have this level of loss. But that question is so relevant and important in terms of family, somebody reaching out to y'all to make sure y'all okay. So the first question I gotta ask, because of all the things that have happened, are y'all gonna be okay in terms of being able to even bury this baby?
I'm trying to go, David. I don't know. Because if it was left up to me, it'll be over.
Desmond, what's happening? Are y'all
No, we don't got nothing. We're in a financial situation. I'm going through, when they call me, I was just doing relocate.
When they called you about Azaria?
Yes, they called me at a community center. They got me down at a community center trying to get help for my family. Where my baby? Now?
Okay, so the first thing we need to do is make sure that this child is going to be able to be put away. Desmond, has the family already reached out to a funeral home provider? Have you started any of the process?
Yes, me and my mom, we went to Serenity Funeral Home yesterday to start that first process.
So the question A I'm going to ask, and we can have this conversation off air, but I tell people all the time, I believe in figuring out trying to help folks in their time of need. This child was way too young for life to have ended in this way, and she deserves so much better. And so, to the extent that our listeners in the community can figure out how to help get this baby buried, we will make those make those phone calls. I will reach out to state agencies because there are dollars that are out there for families. So to figure out what that looks like.
Yes, ma'am.
But then the other part of this is we also need to make sure that y'all have what y'all need. Like your mom, I mean, to be able to hear somebody say, I'm now being looked at differently because of the losses we are suffering. As if somehow, I'm to blame, it's my fault, or I did something wrong. And I can only imagine. But
I feel like I don't even want to be around
we've
people,
seen
man.
other brothers. I can't remember the one brother's name who he had 3 sons that were all lost to gun violence. And you so we know it happens.
Shell.
But yes, Jermaine.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I want to start the donation off with $500. And if anybody's out there listening that want to jump in, anything can help. But I want to start with $500, and we'll make the Cash App or the Zelle, or I even go get the cash. I go get the cash, and even if I got to give it to you, Shell, and you make sure that the family get it.
I like to be able to work directly with the funeral homes and make sure people, when people trust in you with their money, you want to make sure you do what you're supposed to.
Yeah, so put me down for $500. I'm going to start that.
All right.
Anybody else?
But that's the thing. And I know we got a picture of the baby right here. I'm somebody that has worked with troubled kids, and the trouble wasn't always their trouble, but you've been around dysfunction and things happening. And when I say dysfunction, I mean community dysfunction, where violence becomes commonplace. Kids have trouble adapting, families are being displaced. I got children. They don't know where they're going. We had a 16-year-old.
We don't even know how to. Now, when we were growing up, the discipline. Why are we scared of our own kids? Why we can't tell our kids what to do no more? Why we can't? What y'all do to us that we can't even tell our kids what to do no more? We can't discipline them because they gonna take us away from us regardless. They gonna even get taken away from death or jail, or they gonna be taken away regardless. We can't discipline our kids. I think, well, can I just pop a little bit? Can I just make them back to reality?
I mean, because that's the frustration.
But now they said,
no, man.
You put your hands on her, you gonna go to jail. And look, I was in the police station for 3 years. Oh, they did me wrong. I told them don't bring my baby home like this. I was there. I had to do all the footwork. Every time I called them and went there, do you got an address? What you mean? Why do I have to come and put a missing report if I'm going to be the person that do the work? That's why I'm mad at Milwaukee. I did all the work and I still couldn't find her. But they found her on the ground and told me she did? Come on, man.
So we're going to do this. No, I mean, and it, I think number one, the frustration is real, and our community, we understand. We 100% understand. And we've had conversations here at the station about when we see our kids are in trouble and we trying to figure out how to help them. That help does not always, you can't find it sometimes. And then even what you find is not sufficient, and like you said, I'm trying to create as stable of a situation for her as possible. But this baby is dealing with her own set of traumas, and just being back. Like I had to tell one family one time, the mother, she was like, but we doing everything we can. I said, but you don't understand. Every time she look at you, she looking at the family member that is lost. You remind her of the grief. And so even though you're trying to make her feel, how each child deals with what they see happening around them, and to be so young and to have all these losses. And like you said, now I'm just trying to find a little bit of happiness, a little bit of peace, and I look for it in the wrong places. Yeah. But we just had a baby up here, 16 years old, last week, who was homeless, and she literally walked up and said, "I need help." Like literally, 16 years old, has slept in a garage. So we know that this is happening in our community. We got some callers. I want to try to get them in, and then we are definitely going to community. I will meet with the family, come back, give y'all an idea of how y'all can help, and be able to work with Serenity to be able to make sure that Zaria can be given an appropriate burial and homegoing situation. And I even had somebody say, look, I don't have no ton of money, but I can bake. I can do something for the repast. Anything. So we will figure out. Yeah.
Also, too, I'm a musician and I'm tied in with Serenity, with Randy Guy.
Yes,
and I want to let you know that I will do the funeral for free.
Oh God, thank you, Lord.
And if you need, people to sing in the music part, I handle all of that for you for free. So you can tell Randy.
They just like, if you just, God is good. I told him one day he gonna do it all. Thank you.
I got you.
He gonna do it all. He already told me it's already done.
I got you.
So let's get this call in. Hey caller, what's happening? Turn your radio down for me.
I will.
All right, go ahead, Brad. Yes.
Well, I had a couple thoughts I wanted to mention about Mackenzie Scott, her $70 million, and then I wanted to talk about Social Security. But I have to stop and just tell that sister that you were just talking to. That's sobering to know that I haven't lost a child before. I don't know the backstory, and I don't want to go in the wrong direction, but I will talk about this. We do serve a God that's loving kind, and He's giving, and we have to lean on Him, not our own understanding. So we certainly have to trust in God from the beginning. He will make our life straight. God don't make no mistakes, baby. God will hold you. He will comfort you. And you know what? In the middle of the night, when you have all of them tears, your heart is so heavy, you can continue calling on the Lord. Don't give up. Don't stop. Make sure that the people around you are God-fearing, loving, kind people, because you don't need no more grief. You have enough trauma. These folks out here, they don't like us. We're black. We intelligent, we smart, we brilliant. They are really uncomfortable with us through this country. And it's a no-brainer, really. And it's been that way for many years. So I know that you probably got other callers, but my heart goes out. And do she have a fund set up?
No, The family just literally were able to make contact with the family. in the last 24 hours. So we're going to work on getting this information. Like I said, they already are working with Serenity Funeral Home. As soon as I speak with them and we get the information, we'll make sure that the community is aware. And then I got people texting me now. So look, y'all, I promise you, I will get you everything we need to know to figure out how to help this family and this baby girl as quickly as I can.
Michelle, let me just before you dump me, I want to just real quick, it's a couple seconds. So the Trump folks out there, they're doing something with Social Security now. I've worked with family members and friends, I don't know, the last 15 years or so with their disabilities, with the SSIs, and just as well as with the EOC, and help getting charges against different discrimination type things. But what I've noticed, I've had two of my family members
hang on, bro.
me.
Do me a favor, because this is my early day to end, and so I'm up against the clock. So I won't be able to get this call right now. If you hang on to it for me for Monday, we'll pull it up first thing. But I'm up against the clock at this point. I'm sorry. Okay.
No, you don't have to be sorry, baby. Have a great weekend.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Take care. Bye bye.
All right. So I also just had someone that sent me a text message. They said if you they would like to pay for her clothes, and so they will pick them out. Y'all pick out whatever y'all want. And they will take care of her clothing. So we will get this all figured out and do as much as we can to be able to help.
Thank you.
There are no words that can capture the loss and what this must feel like, and the amount of people that you have lost. But to the point that the brother made, I hope somewhere in all of this, y'all are able to see that there are people that do care, and that somebody will show up.
That care.
Somebody will show up.
I know someone.
Yeah.
Someone. And that person I know is God.
You better believe it.
That's the only one I
everything
got.
we've been through, even though we are going through a hard time right now, I was grounded.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest grandchild. I'm the oldest daughter of my mother. And this is what they taught me.
Well, we gonna lean on all that faith to make sure that this baby's taken care of. Jermaine?
Yeah, if it's okay with you, Shell, can we just close the show out with prayer?
Yeah.
If it's okay.
Would you like to do it?
Yeah, let's just do it real quick and then we can get out of here. Father God, thank you, God, first of all, for the life of these people, God. Thank you, God, for keeping them through this storm. I ask that you be with them as they travel this road. God, send the comforter. Be with them. Guide them. Direct them, God, and order their steps. We ask that you heal the broken heart. In your name, thank God, amen.
Amen.
All right, family. So that is a wrap for my show today. I promise you, I will make sure that we follow up with Miss Golden and Miss Harris Keys to be able to get this information to the community about what is needed for Azaria. And for everyone that has already reached out, I will circle back with you. Some people have asked that I put them directly in contact with you all. So I'll mention that to you when I get off the air to be able to figure out how to be of assistance. And I just want to just say, like I said, in your darkest hour,
I can't even see.
There is some light. There is some light. And we got to figure out how to make this baby's passing a lesson and a moment that's never forgotten. So we'll continue to move forward. Family, I'll have updates for you on Monday. Thank you for allowing me to go over my time this morning, because I typically end early today. And y'all, I'll talk to y'all next week. Be safe. And that's the show for today.